First, just congratulations, NC State, Kevin, his group. I thought those guys, they were played very well, and DJ Horn was phenomenal. His shot making was outstanding. But they had a week to get ready, and they were ready, and they had live legs and played really hard. I didn't think our team was quite, sharp the first 10 minutes. I just felt like we were, not tired isn't the right word, but maybe just, a step slow on some things. And, PJ and Ian haven't been practicing much, and I think sometimes it takes a while for those guys to get used to the speed of everything. I think just it's a lot faster, and we looked like that. But then I thought we played very well. First part of the second half, obviously I thought huge shots by Joe and Chase at the end of the half to kind of get us some momentum a little bit back. But then we just didn't play very well in a couple situations down the stretch, and they made a couple big shots. I mean, Diarra, who's not normally a three-point shooter, goes 3 for 3. Horn was terrific. DJ Burns was really good in the beginning of the game. And then I thought we had stretches where we made some good plays, and it was a terrific game, back and forth for a while. And then, I need to watch the film to see exactly how we the 10-point lead got away from us quick. But in a game like this with NC State, with the possessions going so fast, it's going to be kind of that type of game at times if you don't score a couple. And some of his shot making was terrific, and unfortunately, probably had a couple bad breaks. We had a clock deal there with our timers, and I thought it was going to be a shot clock violation, but the clock stopped, so it was a jump ball. And then, ironically, the last call is a jump ball, and we lose the jump ball. And so we just had a couple things go against us, and, we have to be better. We have to be better so that we don't put ourselves in that position. We had a chance with a lead, and we didn't finish the game. Questions for me? Yeah, we were coming up to set a ball screen. I maybe should have called timeout there. That could be on me. Joe just made we called a play for Joe the time before. He made a big-time play, shot. So we were trying to keep it in his hands and let him play a little bit. They came up, and I think we're going to trap him maybe as the ball screen was happening, or at least heavy hedge him. And, I didn't see all of it. Obviously, there was a reach and some contact, and play went the other way.
Coach, were you surprised at all that Coach Keats decided to leave DJ in when he picked up his fourth foul?
No.
6 minutes left?
No. You're going to go with guys that, winning time, you got to go with guys. Like you're on the road, you need to play those guys.
Was there an emphasis on taking the ball at him hard?
Some, but it's not as easy. They're doing some good things defensively. It's not easy to just move the ball everywhere you want against NC State. They deny a lot of things, make it hard. They pressure you. What do we have, 11 turnovers? It's not terrible in a game like this. Probably a pretty heavy possession game. We shot 47% for the game, 37%, 38% from three. The stats are eerily similar, right? We have a few more turnovers. And a couple more offensive rebounds, and it was a lot worse than that in the first half. It's kind of just, again, it's one or two plays that go against you, or a couple big-time shots, and then we're overly critical or overly satisfied with how things went sometimes.
Any thought of taking a timeout there?
No, and if you go back and look at it, Chase is at the rim. Now, Chase should have dropped it off. Ian is wide open on a drop-off for a layup. But Chase made a great play. He got it in there with speed. They did not do as good a job as Virginia did in the same scenario, and so he got around him and got to the rim, and they came over and contested it hard. It was a good defensive play. Obviously, you're taking it to draw a foul, get to the rim, make a play. Everybody wants to do that against Virginia. We're upset that we shoot a wide-open three, and now we're going to second-guess a guy going to the rim, And now he could have dropped it off. I think Ian's going to make a layup, and we're probably going to feel a lot better right now. But, you know, Chase made some big-time plays throughout the game. And so you're just putting the ball in a good player's hands, trying to put pressure on the defense, and he certainly did that. He just didn't make the final last play.
I feel like he's starting to get a little bit going from the perimeter now.
Yeah, I think he's playing pretty well. You know, I tell you, he had a hard time tonight with DJ. DJ was terrific, and our whole team did. We didn't do a good job helping him in ball screens and DHO handoffs on some stuff. But Chase has played some really good basketball here the last 2 weeks. The way he's guarded some guys in our league, he's had the leading score of just about every other perimeter player in the league, and he's done a great job. And he's, you know, you deal with all that, then you're getting hounded on offense, and we want you to make shots, and there's a lot. And, you know, I think he's played very well. You know, tonight maybe not as good defensively as he has been, but I'm pleased with his play.
In those situations, in the final seconds, is it always your gut to give it to your players and let them go down and make a play?
Not always. You're trying to read the game, and if you feel like there's something that you can do that's, you know, but the hardest thing any coach will tell you that, you know, if you get the ball out and there's open space, you know, that's hard to guard. The defense isn't set. You know, this was even there was even a little more space than Virginia, and there was more time, and that was a difference too. You had a little more time, and at the Virginia game, they kind of knew that, hey, there's really just main thrust and one other thing maybe, but really in this situation, there's enough time that you could have other stuff going on. We really didn't need it. We just, you know, part of the reason they were guarding, the reason Ian was open is his man came over to help, and they didn't rotate down they were guarding Joe. And so, you know, if they do rotate down, Joe's going to get a wide open three. So Chase just has to make the right read.
Brad, what was the explanation on what you thought was a shot clock violation?
That we stopped that the shot clock operator stopped the clock with 3.5 seconds, and then it restarted like with 1.5, and so because of that, they had to call it a jump ball, and ironically, the jump balls got us at the end, or helped get us.
Your team had 5 turnovers in the last 4.5 minutes after not committing a turnover.
Yeah, I need to look and see what exactly all those were. Obviously, the one with Joe right in front of us was a big one. I think we had a good action with PJ and Ian, and he dropped it off, and I think that one got knocked away. And I'm just like, shoot the ball. You guys are you're right there at the basket. Just shoot the ball. Like, we got it exactly where we want it, and they're trying to. I mean, some of that is players, right? Like, there's those dudes who are trying to make good plays, and they're right there, and I mean, you can't fault them on that one. The other ones, I'd have to go back and remember them all. I can't remember them all. I think one of them is probably the turnover on the rebound, right? And then it's a jump ball, so it's turnover. Well, I mean, so that's 2 of the 3 I just told you. Like, those aren't I'm supposed to get mad at my guys for that. Like, that's pretty tough now. You're a harder coach than I am. Like, I mean, now, is it a foul? I don't know. Maybe. But, those are we sometimes look at stats and they're very misleading on things. You have to really watch the game.
Coach, you've talked a lot about motivation after a tough loss like this. How do you get your team motivated to go play a team that maybe handed you it?
Yeah, we did. I mean, it's not just playing a team that beat you. Obviously, Georgia Tech had a nice win tonight, I guess. We want to win for us. Like, these guys, man, how hard we all work. Like, the amount of time that everybody puts into this is, that's a disappointed locker room. I mean, and there's so many good plays that were made by our players in this game that, that's why these games are so hard and so painful for coaches, players, fans. I mean, everybody. But the players and coaches, I mean, the amount of work that goes into getting ready for a game, the amount of film coaches watch, the amount of time that the players, prepare and put in to get it, and then, 1 or 2 plays doesn't go your way, man. I talk to you guys a lot. It's not easy to fill your tank back up and get ready to go again in 48 hours. That's what's hard, it's not football where you have a week. Like, NC State did have a week. Maybe that helped them a little bit. We all kind of get a break like that. Sometimes you get an extra day and somebody else doesn't. It's kind of just part of it. But, give those guys credit. They were really ready to play and juiced up, and they played very well. And I thought we played well for most of the game. It's you got to coach your guys. You got to correct mistakes. There's certainly things we got to correct, but I'm proud of the way our guys competed and a lot of the playmaking and shot making and tough things they did.
As you talk about the early struggles, it's just hard to get PJ and Ian kind of into the flow. Like how do you try to work around that?
It's hard. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I can't. There are times we just can't. We can't practice them. I mean, like, I don't know if they'll make it through the season if we do. And so, you do the best you can. I mean, they're going to have to realize it. We've talked to them about it a little bit, but at the end of the day, just having them fresh and ready to go is, and feeling good is much better. And they're not always going to feel good, and they don't feel good all the time. But they're giving us everything they have, and obviously we're very appreciative of that. But, I thought that's where RJ helped us. I thought RJ was live, thought he was great, tremendous energy, live body, made some really aggressive plays. I was really proud of RJ tonight.
Coach, looking at the positives tonight,
Yeah.
You closed the first half well after being down 8, and
Yeah.
then you went on a 32-10 run, kind of all simultaneously together. So how do you take those positives and move it to Georgia Tech?
Yeah, obviously we'll watch all of it. Like, we're going to watch the whole game, but we're going to watch. We always watch, positive clips, and then we watch teaching clips. But we're always reinforcing positive things that our guys do on both ends of the floor to show so they can see, and we will do that again for this game. So yeah, I mean, it's and our guys know that. Like, they. Nobody wants to really. We don't want to think about that right now, but that'll be part of the message. Monday.
You have a visit with Hunter Tyson.
I did, not very long though, unfortunately. But proud of that guy. Obviously, love him to death, and unbelievable ambassador for our university and program, and just it's good to give him a big hug and just tell him how proud of him I am.
You talk about how important a week of rest is. Is the double bye in the ACC tournament in the back of your mind at all as you go through?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I think that's part of why we're all upset today, is this would have been a big win to push us ahead of maybe what Pat calls the glob, or one of those guys used to call it the glob, where we're all kind of together. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I think we have a really good league. I think we have a lot of really good teams, and winning is hard. And, most games come down to a couple minutes, a couple plays, and somebody pulls away at the end. And unfortunately tonight, they made the plays at the end to win.
At the end of the first half, one of the disparaging parts of between each team was trips to the free throw line.
Yeah.
So I know you guys had, or NC State had 12.
We had one.
Free throw attempts,
Yeah.
we all had one.
Right.
But coming into the second half, it seems like y'all played a lot more physical.
Yeah.
A lot more trying to get those fouls. You got sent to the line a
Yeah.
lot more and kind of equalized that number.
Yeah, I think that was, yes. Obviously, we talked about that at halftime, that we just didn't feel like we were as aggressive as we needed to be, and we were a little bit step behind for a while in the game. I just felt like we were half step, late on some things, and made a couple mistakes that we talked about in scouting, and let Horn get some shots early. Our bench made a couple mistakes, and that's problematic. You can't go in the game and, you're guarding an elite player, and we have a letdown and give up a couple shots. And that happened to us a couple times early in the game, and he got rolling a little bit, and, we just have to be better as a group.
Any more questions for Coach?
Coach, you talked about the glob in the ACC. You still have Wake Forest and Pitt left to play, but next Georgia Tech. So after that double overtime loss at home, how can you kind of break that glob and move forward and get home?
Yeah, I mean, I don't worry about that. We have to worry about Georgia Tech. I mean, they beat us last time. They're plenty good enough to make our life miserable. We've got to continue to grow, get better. attack things, learn from our mistakes, and if we keep doing that and bringing tremendous energy and togetherness, we'll be fine.